In Surah 447, Muhammad, in the name of Allah, warned the people of the book, in this case Jews, those who possessed the law of Moses, the Psalms, and the prophets, of a terrible punishment that was going to befall them if they refused to believe in what Muhammad was now bringing in confirmation of what they already had in their possession. O ye people of the book, believe in what we have now revealed, confirming what was already with you, before we change the face and fame of some of you beyond all recognition, and turn them hindwards, or curse them as we cursed the Sabbath breakers, for the decision of Allah must be carried out. The punishment that this verse speaks of is obviously something the Jews are expected to know about from the previous scriptures, since the author appeals to them as the people of the book, claims that what he's bringing is in confirmation of what they already have, and presupposes that they know what he's talking about when he refers to the face-changing curse of Allah that was brought upon the Sabbath breakers. However, while the Old Testament scriptures do speak of God commanding Jews to observe a day of holy rest on the Sabbath, and do speak of certain people transgressing the command and being punished, such as the man who was stoned for defiantly picking up sticks in order to build a fire on the Sabbath, we never read of any group of people whose faces were cursed and changed beyond all recognition. In other words, what we appear to have here is yet another example of Muhammad mistaking a far-fetched legend of later Talmudic Jews for something that God had previously revealed. The otherwise cryptic reference in Surah 447 to the face-changing curse of Allah is explained in further detail several other times in the Quran. For example, speaking of this curse, Surah 560 tells us that Allah, in good fairy tale fashion, cursed the Jews by transforming them into beasts, namely apes and swine. Say, shall I point out to you something much worse than this, as judged by the treatment it received from Allah, those who incurred the curse of Allah and his wrath, those of whom some he transformed into apes and swine, those who worshipped evil. These are many times worse in rank and far more astray from the even path.
Allah says, those people that he has cursed, he can turn them into monkeys, apes, and swines. Go check Surah Al-Ma'idah. Shafar is not saying that. Chapter 5, verse 60. Allah says that in the Quran.
Another reference to this is found in Surah 2, which makes it clear that this curse pertained to the Jews who transgressed in the matter of the Sabbath, and that Allah intended it to serve as an example to others, such as the Jews at Muhammad's time, who were being threatened with this very thing for not believing in Muhammad and his purported revelations. And well ye knew those amongst you who transgressed in the matter of the Sabbath. We said to them, be ye apes, despised and rejected. So he made it an example to their own time and to their posterity, and a lesson to those who fear Allah.
He turned them into apes and swines, those who did not observe their holy day. Oh yeah.
The fullest description of this non-biblical legend, which sounds more like something in 1001 Arabian Nights, is found in Surah 7, where Allah tells Muhammad to ask the Jews about a town by the sea that transgressed by catching fish on the Sabbath. As the story goes, the fish would only come near to the village on the Sabbath day, and then they would taunt the Jewish fishermen by sticking their heads up out of the water, as if to say, catch us, we dare you. Ask them, the Jews, concerning the town standing close by the sea. Behold, they transgressed in the matter of the Sabbath. For on the day of their Sabbath their fish did come to them, openly holding up their heads. But on the day they had no Sabbath they came not. Thus did we make a trial of them, for they were given to transgression. When some of them said, why do ye preach to a people whom Allah will destroy or visit with a terrible punishment? Said the preachers, to discharge our duty to your Lord, and perchance they may fear him. When they disregarded the warnings that had been given them, we rescued those who forbade evil, but we visited the wrongdoers with a grievous punishment because they were given to transgression. When in their insolence they transgressed all prohibitions, we said to them, Be ye apes, despised and rejected.
Everyone knows this. One of the ways that they were disgraced is that Allah Ta'ala, due to their abstinence and disobedience and their murder of the Anbiya and their shirk and their kufr, Allah changed a group of them into swine and monkeys.
Since this story can't be found in the previous scriptures, where then did it come from? Unfortunately, while we can trace many of Muhammad's ideas back to unbiblical rabbinic traditions, since we don't have a full record of what 7th century Jews were palming off to Muhammad as revelations from God, the best we can do in many cases is make plausible inferences from what we do know. In this case, we do know that this story can't be found in the Bible. We also know that Muhammad had a penchant for mistaking apocryphal Jewish tales for biblical truth. In keeping with this, the Talmudic scholar Rabbi Louis Ginsburg, in his book The Legends of the Jews, makes the following tantalizing suggestion as to how this idea could have arisen among Jews in 7th century Arabia. He writes, according to Tosefta Yebamot 110 and parallel passages in Bavli and Yerushalmi, which refers to the Babylonian and Jerusalem Talmuds, the high priestly family of Caiaphas, from Kaifa, which means ape, hailed from Bet Mechoshesh, the house of the stick-gatherer, in other words, the house of the man who picked up sticks on the Sabbath. In view of the legend, undoubtedly Jewish, found in Quran 260, that Moses transformed the Sabbath breakers into apes, one is inclined to trace some connection between the Caiaphas, apes, and their place of origin, the house of the stick-gatherer, the Mechoshesh being the typical case of the Sabbath breaker. What Rabbi Ginsburg is saying is because Caiaphas, whose name means ape, was believed to have descended from the same house as the man who picked up sticks on the Sabbath day, the legend arose among some Jews that Caiaphas and his house got their name because in some way they were related to a group of Sabbath breakers who were transformed into apes and swines. Well, whatever the exact origin of this tall tale, it's clear that it doesn't come from the Bible, and that this is yet another example of the Jews making a monkey out of Muhammad.
Oh, yeah.
Stay tuned for Part 2, where I'll look at how Islamic apologist Shabir Ali tries to deal with this rather embarrassing story found in the Quran.